So we have just bought a 2022 S1000Rr full carbon, and it's a heck of a lot worse than it actually looks. So it's had a huge crash on the right-hand side, and I'm probably an idiot for buying this bike. But that's not the worst of it. It gets dumber. So aside from the good points where everything on this bike is virtually carbon fiber, there's a really bad, glaringly obvious problem. And it's this here. So this frame protector has done the exact opposite, and it's broken our frame. But there's something else I just noticed. Come with me. This here is engine oil, and it's fresh. I've had the bike parked here since the last 10 minutes. So that tells me I've got some form of a leak. So let's get it inside and investigate. So I took a risk on this bike knowing that it was pretty well damaged, but I thought to myself, you know what? We've got 20,000 subscribers now. It's about time I start taking YouTube seriously. But I think I might have bitten off more than I can chew, because I'm pretty sure the bike runs, so let's check that. I have seen a video of it running, so. Bike runs, so that's a bonus. It doesn't appear as though I've got any errors on the dash as well, but we've got a huge issue with the frame, and it looks like we've got an issue with the sump. So come and check this out. So you can see here where it's hit the right side of the bike. So the headers have actually taken a massive hit right here, and that's followed back and taken a little tiny little chip out of the sump just here where the bolt goes in. So I have a feeling this is what's leaking, because if I put my finger there, there's fresh oil on my finger. Now the frame crack is not my biggest worry, because I've got a solution. Right over here, I bought a new frame from a friend of mine. So this bike had also had a low side, but absolutely no issues with the frame. So that's sorted. Well, I say that's sorted, but I've still got to strip the whole bike down to pretty much nothing, replace the frame, and then go from there, which will leave me with a spare frame that just needs to be re-welded. So maybe I can sell that and recoup a few dollars. But we're gonna do this bike a little bit different to what I'd normally do for you guys, and I'm actually gonna strip it down. As I strip it down, I'm gonna let you know all the parts that we're gonna recoup and try and sell in order to buy more performance parts. So we'll keep a running tally as to what this build's actually costing. So that brings me on to the good points. Carbon, 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 and, well, carbon, and the whole belly pan is also carbon if I can fix it. So this bike is absolutely loaded with goodies. It looks like it's had the full carbon M package thrown at it, along with some other M details. So it's got the M brakes on both sides. It doesn't have the M calipers though. It's got the standard brake calipers. It's also got the M footrests, so they're pretty awesome. And to top it off, the biggest carbon piece on the bike, the wheels, front and rear carbon wheels. And there's only a tiny little issue with the front one, and I don't even know if I can see it anymore, but it had a tiny little graze on the edge of it. So I think we can make an absolute carbon monster out of this thing. So I think first things first, let's get this bike stripped down and take stock of what we've actually got, because I've got a feeling I can fix these fairings. So the real question is going to be, can I salvage this fairing, or do I need to drop $2,000 on a race fairing? And if I did, would it actually look better with all the carbon? it was bound to happen. I've had a good run so far, taking stuff off, and a part of my head's going, do I sell it? Do I replace it with a race fairing? I'm still not sure yet. I've got to do the numbers. But unfortunately, I've just had a massive loss, probably $1,000 loss, because the headlights are broken. So the actual mount that holds the two headlights together has snapped. I don't know if I can buy that separately and put them back together. It might be worth 800, but it's definitely not worth 1,000 anymore because, well, not only is the mount broken, but the headlights themselves have got tiny little cracks in them. So I think maybe they're reduced down to a much smaller amount, maybe a couple $100 each or overall, I'm not sure. But it is coming apart quickly, and I've now got a fair bit more stuff I've just found that I can actually sell as well, so take a look. So just in the back here, I've got the immobilizer alarm unit, so that can go, it's probably around about $200 or $300. I've got the ABS module, that's probably another $200 or $300. And I thought to myself, maybe all this carbon on the back, maybe we're better off selling all of that as well as the carbon on the front. But I'm gonna keep stripping it down, see what else I can get off it, things like the horn, the lights, anything that we don't need. Yeah, and just keep plugging away at it. So I'm just going to pop this Vandemon exhaust off because it's all scraped. It's all scraped down the side here. But I think the scratches on it aren't bad enough to warrant a complete new system. I've once, in the past, I've put protection on the back here, an RNG protector that goes around here that saves you if you're sliding on your right-hand side. So I'm going to get one of those for here, and then we're going to try and sand this all back. So I'm just going to take this off, and I'm going to take it to one of my very, very friendly sponsors, and he's going to see if he can restore it for me. You can see here, it's got all of these scratches and marks. I think we can probably get these out. Okay, so that brings me onto the table of stuff that I think we're probably gonna sell because I haven't made my mind up yet. I've got, my phone has two full big spreadsheets on it with two scenarios. First scenario is I sell all of this carbon and I just buy a race fairing and I then buy some extra carbon. Second scenario is I fix some of this fairing where the carbon is all busted and we still use it because, let's face it, this is a full carbon fairing pretty much, and I could make some of it exposed and the parts that are damaged, I can make them not exposed. So that's an option as well. But let's go through the prices. So just here, we've got an Ilmberger tail tidy. This is $575 just for the tail tidy, brand new. So with a couple of tail lights on it, it's probably worth about, let's say $450. We've got a rear vision mirror, that's $250. This is all OEM stuff. So the belly pan, these are $1,600 brand new. So even if I could get $400 for that damaged, that would be fine. The side fairings with the inlets, the carbon inlets, all up, all of this side fairings are probably around about $600, including the carbon. We've got the carbon nose. These are, I think, $680 brand new. Again, it's Ilmberger carbon. So this probably maybe $400. And then we've got the lights. So I was a bit disappointed about these lights. I wanted to get over $1,000. I reckon for parts, we could probably sell them for about $300. So those are the two scenarios. I haven't made my mind up yet, but I have made my mind up on some stuff we're keeping over here. Okay, so this is mostly the front of the bike. We've got the seat. We're gonna cover this seat, probably like a Louis Moto suede cover or something really funky. I've got the tank cover, so that's gonna be the actual color of the bike. I've got these side panels for the tank, which are in really good condition. They've just got a tiny little crack there, but I think I can fix that. So both sides of the tank are gonna have that nice carbon effect down it. This is perfect. It's pretty much untouched and it's OEM, nice and black. We're gonna keep that. The carbon tail, top and bottom, this is worth an absolute mint. All we need to do is buy the center rear seat cowl for it. So I'll get probably a non-carbon one of them. We'll paint that the color of the bike. And then of course the sides for that. So once we peel off these stickers and repaint it all, I think the back of the bike is going to have some nice carbon accents. The front of the bike is going to have some carbon accents around the tank, the wings that we're buying for it, the guards that we're buying for it. I think this is probably the way to go. So now I've just got to price up a race fairing and see if that offsets the price of actually selling all that carbon that we may not need. That's it. One ABS module off. That's at least a kilo. Now I've just got to take all the brake lines off because we're going to be replacing these with non-ABS lines. So again, something to mop up. You're going to get fluid everywhere otherwise. Here we go, one line off for the rear. Two lines off for the rear. Whilst I'm taking stuff off, I might as well take this evap off as well. I'm pretty sure, from memory, this is super easy on the Beamer. I think I just run extension lines from these two breathers up to the tank. There we go, one evap canister gone. Okay, so now we just got to follow this top hose, pull it out from behind the frame, and that's going to take you to the actual sensor. So the sensor, we still need to buy the block off for it. They're I was going to say $25, $30. We'll buy one of them. For now, I'm just going to unplug it so we can fully get rid of it. There we go, unplugged. And this, all I need to do is put a plug in the end of that, and that's what seals it off. Another thing gone. Okay, in the spirit of deleting stuff, I'm just gonna take the stand off. It's another thing I can sell straight away. Like it's gonna get me, I don't know, maybe $150. Every little bit I get helps me build this bike. Job done. Check out that. It's got like an R&G Racing extra size foot on it in case you want to park in the mud. Right, so I better get busy ordering some deletes. I've got to order a stand delete, evap delete, maybe an AIS, so a secondary air delete, an ABS delete, headlight and tail light deletes. I'm gonna guess about $1,000 worth of deletes. It's a lot of deletes. I wish I knew how to make them myself. So a massive amount done today. The bike is stripped to the point where I don't want to go much further until we make a big decision about the frame. So I'm gonna get the bike off to a frame specialist this week and just for a second opinion on exactly what we need to do with that. I've ordered a sump, so a replacement sump for the engine. I've stripped out pretty much everything here that I don't want. Now I've just got to make the decision about the fairing. Race fairing or fix the current carbon fairing. So yeah, massive progress and heaps more to come. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, you know the drill.